Hey, welcome everyone. See some friendly faces. Welcome back. And to everyone joining us for the first time, welcome. Just a reminder to everyone, we will be recording and sharing the presentation and all the Q&A after the fact. So if folks from your team couldn't make it, or if it's just your note taker here, you'll be hearing from us after the fact as well. Amazing. We will be utilizing the chat today. So you can feel free to drop in where you're joining us from. Anything else? We'll be using the chat for questions at the end as well. So feel free to drop any questions or comments throughout. I'll give us one more minute to jump in and then we'll get started. Right. Welcome, Austin, Texas. And we have Dinked Pickleball from Augusta, Georgia. Picklewood. Hi, Nathan. All right. All right, guys, let's jump in. So, to those of you who already know me, welcome back. My name is Ofra. I'm the head of product here at Playbypoint. I'm joined by Rafa from my team, and today we'll be talking about our marketing kit that launched recently. You've probably seen our communications about this feature. Maybe you've already gotten started with your free trial, but today we'll be breaking down all of the functionality of the feature and how it will help you grow your club and manage your marketing flows all in one system. All right. So for those of you who are meeting us for the first time or want a refresher, we're Playbypoint. We're the operating system for modern clubs. We now have 1,300 and counting clubs powered by Playbypoint. We are global. We have the platform live in over 40 countries. Super proud of that stat. And our app has more than 3 million users. So excited to share these metrics. I always love going over this because it's growing every time we have one of these webinars. Just a handful of our partners called out here on the slide and many, many more. So just again, to introduce myself, my name is Oprah. I'm the head of product here. So I lead everything that your clubs touch and your players touch digitally. And I'll give Rafa a chance to introduce himself as well.
Hi everyone, I'm Rafa. I'm a product manager with the core team, and Ofer and I have been with the whole team have been working on marketing it for the past months.
Awesome. So Rafa's going to help me demo the feature, and he really is a scholar in this product. So if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and we'll get to them later in the webinar. Awesome. So for today's session, quick agenda. We have a lot to get through, and I'll walk you through kind of how we're going to tackle it. So first, like we always do on our product webinars, we're going to talk about what's the problem that we're trying to solve. And here we really believe that club communication is a revenue problem. So if you can't reach your players, your club is missing out and leaving money on the table. So how do we help you solve that? The next section, we're going to get into what the solution is, what is Marketing Kit, what's it replacing, and how does it help solve that problem. And we'll go over all of the capabilities that are currently live. We'll go through a live demo of every piece of the live product today. And we also have a launch as part of the demo. So a little surprise for everybody. We'll be launching one new feature live on today's webinar. Second half of the webinar, we'll go into setup, how to set up your SMS and how to get that rolling. We'll talk a little bit about pricing, and we'll also talk about what Playbypoint customers already have included for free in the platform, and what the pro features that are an add-on get you access to. We'll touch on the roadmap and what's coming up next. And finally, we'll talk about how to get started, and we'll cover any questions. So just housekeeping, feel free to drop questions in the chat. The session should run about 40 minutes. We've been getting a little bit under in some of these webinars, but I think today we have a lot of content to get through. And finally, everything will be shared after. So to jump in, what problem does Marketing Kit solve? So most of our clubs are using a marketing stack that's disconnected from their core platform. So Playbypoint already has access to all of your player data, all your membership data, everything that's happening on your courts and in your calendar, and then all of the marketing running in a separate system. That disconnection actually causes a lack of quality in the marketing that you're able to run. So we've seen that clubs that even through integrations, they're still missing out on an advantage of having kind of their marketing platform be in the same system as their booking and club management platform. So what happens if you have that disconnection, right? What are marketing comms supposed to do, right? We're supposed to use that activation to fill courts. We're supposed to use that time to reach out with more personalized messaging. We want to be able to cut no-shows, right? Timely reminders, have people engaged at the right time so that they know that it's time to make their next booking or to kind of make it to that next reservation. And lastly, all of the pieces around membership and subscription engagement. We want to use marketing to drive activation, engagement, and retention, grow and nurture the community that you've worked so hard to build boots on the ground in each of your markets, have that translated digitally. So the challenge when you don't have a fully integrated product is that you need to have a much more broad reach, right? The spray and pray marketing techniques where you need to send book your next session email, but it goes to people who already made a booking. So now you're getting kind of irrelevant marketing, might drive unsubscribes. You might want to send reminders, but people who are actually timely or aren't likely to no show are getting that reminder. So that might come off the wrong way. Or you get a re-engagement campaign that blasts everybody and folks that haven't even been active or might not be likely to engage. So our solution is putting the data and messaging in the same system, having marketing run out of your core club management system that has all of the insights of who your members are and what their activity is, so that everything is targeted, automated, measurable, and I'll add in there personalized as well. Everything that our technology touches and that your members touch should feel like it was purpose-built for them. So what is Marketing Kit? It's a native marketing system built into Playbypoint, directly into the system that you are already using. So for those of you who previously utilized our announcements feature, we had a basic messaging feature across emails, and it allowed you to send those blasts that we were talking about earlier. The basic plan of Marketing Kit replaces announcements. So you'll see a full redesign and a full relaunch of that platform. So everything around sending emails, push notifications, and in-app announcements across either your white label app or the Playbypoint app has gotten a full UX redesign and has had some new functionality added, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Who's Marketing Kit for? So any of our venues would benefit from a tool like this. So if you want to have a more streamlined way of communicating with your players through the system, Marketing Kit is for you. So I would say there's a pretty one-to-one overlap with our customer base and who would benefit from this platform. And lastly, it lives inside the Playbypoint platform. We have primary real estate on the sidebar, and you'll see it there with a little new tag after this webinar. You can go check that out. So no more dealing with exports, no more dealing with additional integrations, no more dealing with separate tools, everything kind of inside the tool you already use. So the capabilities of our new Marketing Kit, we allow you to segment your users. So we'll talk a little bit about how you create user lists. So all of the users that you already have access to within Playbypoint, you can group those folks and search for those folks in different ways. And there is both static capabilities as well as dynamic capabilities that always stay up to date. Second, we'll talk about multi-channel messaging. So you can see here on the bottom of the screen, we support email, push notifications, in-app feeds, and in the US and Canada, we support SMS as well. And we'll talk about how to schedule that messaging and how you can automate those messaging announcements. Customer journeys, for the first time ever, you can set up campaigns within Playbypoint. I'm super excited to show you guys all of the different triggers that you can use to kick off campaigns, attributes that you can use to segment members dynamically throughout a campaign, and some of the stuff that we're working on to help you drive conversion and help you track the success of those campaigns. Lastly, we will talk about alerts management. So we have the ability to manage your automated announcements or alerts that come from Playbypoint. So booking confirmation email, membership welcome email, different things that are kind of part and parcel of the more transactional messaging within the system. Now you can turn those on and off, and maybe you want to use your Marketing Kit to supplement with more automated or personalized, maybe more on-brand notifications for those. And lastly, we have a brand new analytics and reporting feature directly within the Marketing Kit. For those of you who are already Playbypoint customers, you've seen all of the updates that we've made to, I'll just kind of shout out to the data team, to all of our new reporting capabilities that we've made on the club dashboard and all of the exportable reports. All of that same functionality and same kind of level of analytics support is going to be present in the marketing kit as well. So you'll already see some of those dashboards that we have available, and that will continue to improve over the coming weeks and months. Awesome. So with all that being said, I'll hand it over to the meat of the webinar to Rafa, who's going to give us a walkthrough of every single feature as well as a live demo. And again, feel free to drop questions into the chat.
Yeah, so hi everyone. Again, I'm Rafa, a product manager, and with Ofer and the whole team, we've been working on the past few months on Marketing Kit. So I'll walk you through first dynamic groups, then we'll move on to customer journeys, and we'll end up with the email builder, which is what we're launching today. So focusing on dynamic groups, basically, this is a list of players that is based on rules. So in the past, you had access to static groups, which were groups that you had to create manually. Now, once you create this dynamic groups, it will update daily and your operators or managers won't need to manually add or remove players. So good examples of this are members who haven't booked in the last 30 days, players with their birthday today, or you can even filter by rating ranges. So you could create a dynamic group based on a 4.0 plus rating group enrolled in a specific league. So this is a quick demo. I'll walk you through it. So as you can see, groups has its own tab inside Marketing Kit. And on the top right, you can create new group. You would need to add a name. And then as you can see, we still have the capabilities to build a static group on the left. But in this case, I'll just run through dynamic groups. So once you add a user, this is the first step. So this is the user base. So here you have three options. You can decide to choose all users, which are all the players linked to your facility, or you can search by membership or program. So in this case, you can add every program that belongs to OpenPlays, but we'll continue with all users. So applying filters is where it starts. So you can filter by gender, age, total visits, rating. In this case, we'll just focus on last visit and we'll choose days since last visit. And then under condition, you can see you can choose is equal to and add a value. At the bottom, you can see that a total number of users would be 0. And if you change the condition, you can see how the total number of users in that dynamic group keeps updating before you create it. You can also add multiple filters to a dynamic group. So in this case, condition is less than, and you can add a value of 30. And you can see that the total number of users for this dynamic group would be 255. So if you go to the view details, you'll get a quick summary of the name of your dynamic group, the user base you chose, the filter, and also you'll get the full list of players who belong to that list. This list will update daily. So you can here search for players based on their name, on their email. You can export the CSV, and these groups will be used to target them in announcements and campaigns. So moving on to campaigns. Campaigns is basically a customer journey, and this will allow you to create a journey for different kind of players, different events, and schedule events. So moving to triggers, we basically support two types of triggers. So we have event-based triggers, which is one type of campaign. This would be any type of event, such as booking a program, booking a lesson, a new user signs up to your club, or a membership is purchased. The second type of trigger is a time-based trigger, and this would allow you to schedule a campaign. So for a time-based trigger, you would basically say, okay, I want this campaign to start tomorrow at 9 a.m. and end in a week. Inside campaigns, you have three types of channels. So you'll have email, push, and SMS, and you can choose the timing you want. So we've built this so that you can manage your customer journeys as you please. You can decide on sending 3 messages over the first week, or you can send 3 messages as soon as a membership is purchased, and then you can wait a couple of days and follow up with that player again. So here, again, campaigns is the last tab inside Marketing Kit. This is the full list. As you build more campaigns, this will populate. But on the top right, if you click create new campaign, the first thing you need to do is add a trigger. So here, as I was explaining, you have two options, event-based and time-based. So we'll just walk you through time-based. So here you can select the start date, the time, and the trigger repetition. So you can choose if you want this campaign to trigger daily, weekly, or monthly. An audience is where you choose who you're targeting for time-based campaigns. And this audience node includes all of your dynamic groups. So basically, here you can see that this club has 3 dynamic groups, all focus on last visit, but then you can choose the re-enrollment. This is basically saying if you want players to always re-enter, or if you only want them to be part of this campaign once. So let's go with always re-enter. And here is where it's up to the clubs to decide how they want to build their customer journeys. So here I'm just building a quick email, adding a subject line, adding the body. I can confirm, and then you can either add a new message. You can't repeat an email, but you can add an SMS or a push, or you could simply add a wait, right? Send an email, wait for a couple of days, and then re-engage with the user using an email, a push, or an SMS. In this case, for SMS, as you can see, this club is subscribed to SMS, so they see SMS as an option under channels. And at the bottom right, you can see that they can also use emojis if they need to. So you confirm, and then here we'll simply do an end. On the top left, you can rename your campaigns as you want. This will help you find them easily and not have to search page for page. And once you create it, you can save it as a draft or create it. Once you create it, you'll see that the status, you have it active. And once you go to view details, you'll get a quick summary of the campaign, a preview, the journey analytics, which means who's enrolled, who's in the flow, who's completed. And at the bottom, you see the email and SMS analytics. Once an email or SMS is sent out, then you'll start seeing those analytics. For active campaigns, you can also pause them. So you don't have to be afraid of just activating them. You can pause them at any time. You can save them as drafts. And this is an example of a event-based campaign. So the event in this case is a membership being created, right? So as soon as a membership is created, you can add a condition that filters by membership name. And what this allows you to do is basically say, okay, if the membership is called the social membership, then I'll send them a specific and targeted email for those players. But if the membership name is called the full club membership, then you can target that specific group segment with a different email and maybe with the different benefits that that membership has in your club. And then here it'll continue to populate. And then finally, we have the email builder. So this is going to be launched today. In the following tab, I'll show you a video of a demo, but it's basically we're allowing you to build a branded email within Playbypoint. The next step will be to support templates. So you can use templates as a starting point at any announcement and any campaign. But for now, the email builder will allow you to create custom email designs using the configurable blocks, increase conversions, and send high quality images and newsletters to increase engagement. So I'll just walk you through one flow, which is the announcement flow, but this also will live within campaigns. So if we go to new announcement, and then we add a name, you choose, this is specifically for the email channel, you choose what group you're focusing on, and then you have the subject line, which is something you've always had, but you also have a new option to add a preview. This preview is what players see in their inbox under the subject line. And at the bottom, you would choose the email builder. So as soon as you click on the email builder, you'll see that the header pulls one, your club's color, and two, your club's logo. On the footer, you'll have your club's name, logo, address, and then a couple of links for unsubscribe and manage preferences. When you click on a component, you'll see on the right all the options you have to customize each. So here you can show social media, you can show a divider, you can even remove the logo if you need to. You can drag and drop the components from the left-hand side as text, images. You can even change the image size. And here's an example of how to use columns. So basically you add the component of columns and you can even drag and drop images. You can drag buttons, you can drag text into it and customize the emails the best way you can. On the top right, we have the option of seeing the email as a preview before you send it. So there you can see the desktop, the mobile version, you can zoom in, zoom out, and then you can send a test to yourself. This will allow the manager to see the email in the inbox before sending it to clients. And then you can also attach files, cancel, exit. And then I'm just going to show you a quick version of a newsletter we built. As you can see, different colors. You can change the colors of the buttons. You can add the link to your URLs. This will redirect players to the app, private app, or web, depending on where they open it. And then you can save it as draft. And that's the same functionality you had in announcements.
Awesome. And super exciting. Thank you so much, Rafa, for that demo. And so excited for the email builder to finally reach our Marketing Kit Pro users. So how do you kind of get set up? And we'll talk a little bit about SMS first, because we've handled all of that for you. So if you're based in the US and Canada and you sign up for Marketing Kit Pro, you have access to an SMS channel, and we walk you through the entire setup of your SMS from a compliance perspective. So the first step is getting you registered. So everybody in the US and Canada who uses SMS marketing needs to complete a registration, a 10DLC registration and carrier approval. So all of that happens within Playbypoint. So you'll see a button as soon as you upgrade to Marketing Kit Pro that allows you to start your SMS registration process. You'll fill out a form and with some basic information about your business, identifying yourself, and then we'll submit that all to the carrier and we'll get a 10-digit phone number for you to use as your outgoing SMS number. The main tip is that get started with your SMS registration right away. It takes some time for the approval to happen. This often happens between 2 to 4 weeks. So we definitely recommend getting started with the 10DLC registration right away. And of course, if you need any assistance with that process, you can reach out to our customer success team to help with that. And then lastly, on the compliance side of things, we also collect opt-ins for you. So we have an experience within the app, as well as white label apps, if that is applicable to your club, to collect your player opt-in to SMS. So they'll see a pop-up, they'll be able to opt in to receiving SMS notifications. They can also do so within their notification settings. But we want to make sure that as soon as you're set up to send SMS, that you have as many opt-ins as possible so that your contact list grows and that channel becomes very effective for you and your clubs. All right, this is always everyone's favorite slide in the webinars, the roadmap. So what's coming next for Marketing Kit? So what's live today, you saw the Marketing Kit from a basic perspective and our pro features. We'll talk a little bit about signing up and taking advantage of the free trial. We are going to be launching right after this webinar wraps up the email builder that you saw an awesome demo for, and continuing to build on that. Next month, we have some new features coming to campaigns, so exit and goal criteria. This is going to help you make your campaigns a little bit more data-driven, so assigning exit criteria. So what does a conversion look like for a campaign? As soon as a user does X behavior, they can exit that campaign because they've already completed it, or a goal criteria that you can set something on, okay, as soon as this campaign generates X number of revenue, X number of bookings, X number of conversions, then the campaign is considered finished and won, and you'll be able to report on those metrics. So very excited to add those. It just continues to help make campaigns a more self-serve and a more automated process. We are going to be adding towards the rest of this year MMS, so richer messages with images across our SMS channel. So very exciting there, as well as AI enablement. So we've already had some of those features in progress, and we're excited to add more AI tooling, more automation, and more kind of pre-built and pre-packaged tools for you to use directly within the platform. And just stay tuned for kind of all of the AI features that are coming from the full team, but excited to add that in to the Marketing Kit capabilities. All right. So I'll cover pricing. The core Marketing Kit, the basic plan, is already included. So for those of you who are Playbypoint customers, you already can see Marketing Kit and you can take advantage of all of the included features, announcements, alerts, and creating static groups. This feature has full feature parity with our legacy announcements feature. So everything around sending emails, push notifications, in-app messages, and leveraging your static groups is already included, and it gets you kind of introduced to the marketing kit. It's very easy to upgrade. You'll see many different call outs throughout the marketing kit experience to upgrade to Pro. And the add-on is going at $149 a month. This pricing is, we're excited to kind of offer lower pricing than what we've seen other marketing tools offering, as we think that this is really advantageous to folks to use it directly within Playbypoint. And we really want to get as many of you guys leveraging this feature as possible. And so with that, we also have a free 30-day trial. If you sign up directly in the platform, you'll see that right away. And then lastly, for SMS usage, we do bill 3 cents per message. And again, this is available in the US and Canada. And one thing to add, the Pro tier is mainly our only tier here. So we're not looking to add even more expensive additional tiers on top of it. Every single new feature that comes out for Marketing Kit Pro will be available to all of those who subscribe. So super exciting to kind of get in on the ground floor and take advantage of everything that we're going to be adding over the next coming months. Awesome. So with that, we'll move into questions. We have all of your questions coming in through the chat, and I will be addressing those and also passing them on to Rafa as we go through. Alrighty. Awesome. So a question from Grant, can you personalize an email or SMS with brackets first name or other data fields? Great question. This is something that we are working on. And again, the roadmap slide that I showed is just a little snapshot of what we're working on, but we are working on liquid fields and basically the ability to customize that. That is also coming in the back half of this year, not currently available. Great. We did address both SMS pricing as well as MMS. Hyperlinks. Will hyperlinks be available in SMS? That is something that's on our roadmap as well, in addition to image-based text messages. A question from Bree, will sports be offered in segmentation? I'm going to pass that to Rafa, as I don't know if that off the top of my head is available.
Today it's not, but it's a planned improvement to dynamic groups.
Awesome. And yeah, just a quick note on the segmentation fields. Again, another advantage of this feature being directly built within Playbypoint. It is very easy for us to add additional data points because we, again, share a database with all of those fields and access to all of our additional data points. So I'm excited. Awesome. So we did have a question. Is there going to be any reason to maintain my current marketing provider with all of these capabilities? The answer is no. You don't need to maintain any additional SaaS tools or subscriptions to other marketing providers. We do offer, we're not kind of trying to go feature by feature on each of those tools, but our goal is to make a tool that serves all of your club's needs from a marketing perspective. And so you should not need to maintain any other providers. We hope to kind of handle that for you. Awesome. Yeah, there's a question about whether folks can respond to text messages or it's only one way. Right now, we're only focused on one-way messaging, so utilizing it as more of a marketing and kind of targeted engagement technique rather than a back and forth kind of messaging system. But we do, that's not the first time we've heard that feedback. So yeah, thanks for asking about that. And it is something that we're going to start looking into. Awesome. Okay. We got another question about more specific filters. So creating an email and selecting a segmentation group. We can't find more specific filters like players that only play from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and other things like that. Rafa, do you want to kind of address that question and basically any questions on additional segmentation criteria?
Yes, so we have received that feedback, and the idea is to continue growing the filters we have currently in dynamic groups so that you can also filter by check-ins, by booking, sort of bookings, and when they book. So that is one. Sports is also something that we've received feedback and is in the roadmap.
Great. We got a question, what kind of onboarding support will be available? So we have our customer success team ready and waiting for folks who want to activate our marketing kit. So everybody who signs up for a marketing kit trial will be contacted by a member of our customer success team. But as usual, you can always reach out to us on the Playbypoint team via support or to ask the customer success team directly. even before signing up for the trial. If you want to have a session, we are more than happy to help with that. And we will help you get set up with your first couple of dynamic groups, first couple of campaigns. I will also mention that beyond just the high touch, which we are super proud to offer regardless of how much automation we add, and we will be adding more pre-built functionality into the platform. So pre-built campaigns, pre-built templates, pre-built suggestions of what to do with the marketing kit to take best advantage of it. But again, the team is always available. And I'll speak beyond even the customer success team. Our product team has also been meeting with a lot of folks, and we love that feedback. So yes, always reach out via the support channel and you'll get connected to the right person. Okay, so last but certainly not least, how do you sign up? So how to get started, you have 2 QR codes here on the left-hand side of your screen. You can scan or go directly into the platform. This is for folks who are Playbypoint customers already. So if you go into the platform, you'll see Marketing Kit, and then you'll be able to see the call to action to start your free trial. So that's what you have on the left-hand side of your screen. And if you're not yet a Playbypoint customer, but want to learn more, we would love to talk with you. So on the right-hand side of your screen, you can book a call with our team and learn a little bit more about the platform overall, as well as everything to do with Marketing Kit that you've seen today. And I believe that's all we have for today. So thank you all so much. Today was a fun one. I'm always excited to share new things, especially this feature. It's truly been a labor of love, and I'll say that there's so much more to come for this feature. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you very soon.